Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Mount Tammany Ridge channel. I'm out here in the garage, hanging out at the bench here for a few minutes. I'm gonna try to do a quick little video here, So a friend of mine and I were talking on the phone the other night, and we were talking a little bit about, the process of, sharpening chains and how to get the best results. And, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we were talking about. And, I'm not a professional, okay, when it comes to all this chainsaw stuff and everything. However, over the past several years, I've talked to a lot of people who are professionals. Some, by the, wonderful world of the web, and some in person here in the town I live in. And what I'm about to show you is things that all these folks have basically said, and and basically I'd say probably 4 of them that I've spoken to that I feel are reliable sources have basically said the same thing. So I'm kind of leading to believe that maybe they're not lying. So one of the things that my friend and I were talking about was the fact that we both have the same sharpener, right? So we have an electric grinder. I believe his is an Oregon as well. I have an Oregon, let me see what model number it is. Hold on a second. It is, where'd it go? I know the model number was there the other day when I looked at it. I think it's like a 520 dash something. But anywho, that's not important. So, he was talking about the fact that he is having an issue with getting the results that he really wants, right? He wants to get a chain that cuts as good as a brand new chain, or even better maybe. Now, though a lot of that has a tremendous amount to do with angles, right? And I'm not going to talk about angles today. What I'm going to talk about is prepping for the sharpening procedure, right? So one of the things that they conveyed to me, especially if you're using, specifically really, if you're using a high RPM grinder, okay, a bench grinder type of deal, you really want to make sure your chain is clean, okay? You want to try to scrub all the pitch off of the chain as you can. That way it doesn't glaze up your sharpening stone. And I'll show you that in a minute. Mine has a little bit on it, not a whole lot right now, but we're gonna stick to the chain part. So I'm gonna get you guys looking down here on the bench, and basically I'm gonna clean one of my chains, and you guys can kind of take it for what it is. All right, so I imagine Dawn is gonna work fine. Do I do this all the time? No, I don't. Or I shouldn't say I don't, but I didn't, okay? Because most of the time I was hand filing. Most of the time it was here at the bench. I always made sure I had multiple chains sharp for my project. That way, maybe throughout the project, depending on how long it took me, I might bring a chain or 2 back at the end of the day, put it in here in the vise with the saw, and just touch it up with the hand file. Hand file with the pitch, I imagine there is a difference, but it's not that big a deal when you got just a hand file. However, high speed, it is definitely a problem. So I'm gonna rock and roll with this. You guys are just gonna kind of have to play along with me here. Yes, I am actually putting soap on the bench, and yes, I am going to pour some water on my bench. I'm gonna rock and roll just like that. It's not a fancy bench, and I really don't care. I don't have a whole lot of, see now what I did here, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I got a clamp here. So I got one one end of the chain clamp to the bench. That way I can just kind of follow right on through here. And I can already see that Dawn dish detergent is doing a pretty darn good job of scrubbing this off. Get a little more water on there. Ow, that felt good. Just dug part of my safety guard on my bench grinder right into my forearm. I seem to be in a process of continual healing these days. I keep banging myself up at work and banging myself up here on the farm. And yeah, it's a constant healing for me. I'm not healing my leg or my arm, I'm healing mentally. I won't go there. So, yeah, it's actually working really, really nice. And I'm sure you could probably use your imagination as to how to get this off. You can go outside to your garden hose and just hose it on off. All right, let's go do that. All right, so here we are. She's all nice and clean and it's just shiny. All right, all the way down and around. So that worked out real good. Now, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm not actually going to go through the sharpening procedure on this video. However, what I do want to show you is the stone. Okay, now you see all that schmutz there, all that black stuff, okay? And there's even a light glazing here on the round edge, on the bull nose, okay? Let's see, is there any on the back? Not really. I get the camera to look at it. Not really. I do see a little bit of scratching there. But this stuff, okay, you want to make sure you clean that up. Now they have a special stone. I need to find it here. Hopefully they didn't throw it away on me, which I'm having a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach that they did, because they don't know what they're looking at. All right, so just give me a second here and let me see if I didn't just ruin the video. All right, thank goodness I found the box that this machine came in. So this is the dressing stone, I guess you could call it. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, so this stone, okay, you put on your sharpening wheel, okay, and you clean around the whole bull nose, all the way around. And this will also, it'll shape your cutting wheel, right? So if you're trying to, make it more round or kind of ovaled or whatever it is, you can do that with this. Now, that being said, you want to use the gauge that comes with it to, make sure that you're getting the right radius, okay? So this thing here is the gauge, all right? Now, I believe that was at the 3/8 .404. That's this one here, okay? That is the size that this stone is that I'm using for my sharpening my chisels on the chain. So I'm gonna get you zoomed in here and let you take a look. All right, so I'm gonna try not to trip over the tripod here and send you guys for a ride. So you got this is the 3/8, right? And it fits right on that stone, okay? And the goal is to take this stone while this is running and just kind of, let it grind on there and shape it up. I'll get this thing fired up and I'll do that because at some point, either this evening or tomorrow, I will be sharpening this chain and I'm gonna need this dressed up anyway. All right. So this, it's got a nice little light under there, which I find really convenient. Now, when you're grinding on this thing, you don't need to put side load on it. You don't need to push hard on the stone. You just literally let this kind of, dance around on the stone. A little bit of pressure. I mean, you don't want it to vibrate because you could cause that to shatter, I imagine. But, just very gentle pressure. That stone will do all the dressing and cutting it needs to do without much input at all. And, try to make sure you have a decent grip on it too, because that thing could possibly take it out of your hand. So shut this thing down, check it. Don't do that. Do not do what I'm doing. I'm just impatient, which is usually how accidents happen, for that exact reason. So yeah, that's looking pretty darn good. I'm gonna check the other side here and see if I got all that dark pitch stuff off of there. Looks like I could take a little bit more. I do see some gunk on there still. So I'm gonna do this from this side so I can get a better visual as to if it's coming off or not. Let's see, where's the... I'm pretty sure I got it. And it's important to make sure that you keep this clean, right? Don't go putting it down on surfaces that are oily or anything like that, because all you're going to do at that point is deposit oil, which is going to cause expedite the buildup of gunk on here, okay, from tree sap and whatnot. So yeah, that's looking real good now. Yep, that's nice and clean. And now what I'm going to prevent by having that sharpening stone as clean as it is, okay, is you're not going to have the tendency to overheat your chisel on your chain, okay? When you have a whole bunch of pitch built up on there, it literally fills in all the little dimples and cracks and crevices that, make that stone abrasive. And it's not going to be abrasive anymore, and it's not going to remove the material that needs to remove. All it's going to do is cause friction, and it's going to heat it up very quickly. And that causes what they call hard facing, I guess you could call it. I might be using the wrong word, or for lack of better words, I'm just going to use hard facing. So it hardens the cutting edge to the point where if you're out in the bush and you need to hand file, okay, to sharpen that chain, it's not really going to happen. You can try, but it's going to be a bear. So yeah, that's these are the two things you do here to prevent from destroying your chain when it comes to, how can I say, just make sure your chain's clean, make sure your stone's clean. I guess that's the best way to put it. And you will have better success getting your chisels sharp on your chain. And that's it, I guess. I'll leave it at that. There's more videos to come in the future as to this particular grinder. I still have a lot to learn about it and get used to. The way my chains are coming out now, I'm not 100% satisfied with. Has nothing to do with the sharpener, has everything to do with me. So I got a lot to learn with this thing, but this is definitely one of the number one things that novices that begin using these things struggle with, as did I. I am no different than you guys. This is not a, oh, well, I would never do that kind of thing. This is literally, we all suffer the consequences of not cleaning these two things, and it is very important. So, I apologize that the video seemed kind of like rambling and on and on and on, but this is the first attempt I had to explaining anything like this. Any of my sharpening videos were really kind of sort of passive. They weren't, how-tos or anything. And really, this is not a how-to, really. It's really what not to do kind of thing. As far as, letting pitch build up on both your sharpening stone and your chain. Don't let that happen, because you will never figure out a sharpening wheel, a high RPM sharpening wheel, if you don't get over that hump. So hopefully the video helped any of you guys out that might be kind of entering into this whole chainsaw and firewood and tree cutting thing. So if you like the content you see here on the Mount Tammany Ridge channel, if you could just hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment down below. Definitely comment down below, good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter to me. And if you have any questions, I will answer them if I feel as though I'm worthy of giving you an answer, because there's, like I said, a lot of things I have yet to learn, and there's a point where my knowledge does drop off very steeply, and that's where I gotta basically just step back and say, okay, you might have to find somebody else to to give you the answer on that, because I still haven't figured that out myself. Yeah, take care and have a good night. I'll see you on the next video.